Welcome back to Star Trek Online, everybody. I am your host, the Housecoat Gamer, and today we are taking a look at the Odyssey-Class Dreadnought Cruiser. Now I say Dreadnought Cruiser when most vessels of the Odyssey-Class are referred to as Star Cruisers. There are a lot of variants of this ship. The original, which is acquired from the fleet nowadays for the cost of an absurd amount of fleet credits and fleet modules, thus making it relatively pointless. The original C-Store variants with, well, one was heavy engineering, the other tactical, and the last science, all with a majority of consoles towards their certain professions. The science variant, for example, had 4 science consoles. Engineering, well, as you might guess, had 5. Tactical had 4, I think. It's been a while since I've even looked at the Tier 5s. Then we have the Tier 6 variants, of which there are 4, which typically just add 1 console for the least of the consoles they have. But, as you might guess, all of those are somewhat inferior to this vessel right here. This is the legendary Odyssey-Class Dreadnought Cruiser. The Verity, supposedly introduced shortly after Star Trek Nemesis with the USS Verity, seeming prototype of the class and looking exactly like the Odyssey. Of course, as far as I am concerned, the prototype for this class is the USS Odyssey, which was introduced in 2408. Of course, that may or may not soon be retconned by our good friends at Cryptic. After all, they seem to be wanting to include everything from Picard, just to streamline the timeline a little bit. Anyway, this is the best version of the ship and truly lives up to the name Dreadnought. Because every Odyssey is a Dreadnought starship. It has the firepower of a Dreadnought, the capabilities of a Dreadnought, and what you're looking at, minus the hangar bay, is essentially the tactical variation of the Odyssey class. A wise choice, considering these things are supposed to hit hard and be brutal. This is also the only variant that has, well, the ability to mount dual cannons. Of course, until recently, for me, mounting dual cannons on a Dreadnought starship was pointless, due to, again, the turn rate. This vessel is capable of saucer separation. That little module on the back is an Aquarius escort, which can be jettisoned for offensive support. And it can eject the saucer section. Of course, as you can see, I haven't installed any of the consoles on the ship for good reason. There are 6 of them. And equipping both sets, plus the one from the Krenim science vessel, is a bit excessive. It also cuts down on defensive, offensive, or support. As far as I'm concerned, that's all science is good for. Regardless, this is probably the most useful of the Odyssey variants, because 1, you have a hangar bay, 2, you have the option to mount dual heavy cannons if you so desire. I do not, mostly because this ship's turn rate is abysmal, especially at full impulse. Of course, I prefer setting and forgetting instead of varying my speed. That way I can actually focus on combat instead of, well, do I have to slow down? Do I have to stop? Do I have to speed up? Anyway, this is a ship worth getting, especially the legendary version. That said, the legendary skin is ugly as sin. In fact, with the exception of the original Odyssey skin, all of them are particularly ugly. That is, of course, my opinion. But then again, most skins for starships look particularly ugly. And the Odyssey has not seen a significant redo since ever. In fact, you're looking at one of the few starships that hasn't seen a serious redo. I mean, the Galaxy, the Constitution, every single major hero-type ship has seen a significant reskinning. But this ship, not a thing. I kind of wish that changed, because the textures are a little dated. Housecoat Gaming, signing off.